It's funny these days. If you go into a search engine and type in Scrum, you get always the process images, but Scrum actually comes from rugby. It's basically the team huddle, more or less, how we can think about that. Now, the interesting thing is that why is Scrum, the process, called Scrum? And this goes back to a white paper, the new product development game of Takeuchi Ononaka, and they wrote that in, if I remember correctly, 86. So that's kind of getting close to 30 years ago. But they essentially looked at 5 products which were highly successful. There was Xerox, a copy machine, Honda, a car, Fuji, a fax machine, maybe said this already, then a camera from Canon and so on. And they were really investigating what made these products so successful. And he discovered 5 points. It was like interdisciplinary teams, bottom-up knowledge, using feedback loops, and so on. And this white paper was read by Ken and Jeff independently, and that just had this eureka moment. Just say, well, this is how we have to do software as well. Because these were kind of like physical products. There was no, maybe some software in there, but not that much. And and if you go into this white paper, the new product development game from Harvard Business Review, and you look for the word Scrum, it appears only once in a heading. The heading is moving the Scrum downfield. Now, this is why Scrum is called Scrum, because of this word once, because then Ken and Jeff said, hey, what should we call what we're doing? And I said, maybe we call it Scrum. So this is where it's coming from, the name. So, but what is Scrum? The framework, to be really correct here, is, I like to think about it, it's the rule of the game. So we come together and basically we play the game of creating the best possible product given the circumstances we are in. And Scrum is the collection, the framework is the collection of the rules of the games, in my opinion. And you play by the rules, there's room for interpretation. You can do it this way, you can do it that way. It's like offside in soccer or in football. And at some point you get a good idea about when to play which rule in which way, and so on. And this is kind of this empirical mindset and flowing in there as well. Because once you learned, oh, this worked in this context and this didn't work in this context, you discover patterns. And then based on that, essentially, you always try to build the best possible product in the constraints you are having. And this is the way I think about Scrum, the framework.